show again. So we back on this design thing. So let me show y'all something. We back on this design thing, right? So I got all the builder parts unlocked because that's what I do. Y'all know me, just like Fishing Planet, I gotta have everything. So I'm about to put these Gatling guns. On the jetpack, but not right there. So you can put them, you know, they have default spots where you can initially start them off. So in this case, I want to put it at the center of the backpack, right? So I'm gonna put it at the center of the backpack. However, that ain't gonna be where it stays. That's not going to be where it stays. So I'm gonna put it at the center backpack. But then, why does it do that? It should have. I hate it when that happens. Alright, let's do it again. Actually, so it's left, right, I think. Okay, so we'll put it on the left backpack. Then that will allow us, okay, there we go, that makes sense. That will allow us to equip both, right? Okay, I was about to say it has to be a left, right. I was tripping. All right, so now, oh shit, that gives you a starting point, right, of where we're gonna put this thing, right? But that's not gonna be the final. So once you link them, now we have two of them up here connected to the left side of the backpack, so they won't move, they'll be stationary. Now what we need to do is adjust them. We don't need to move their location, because see, then if you do that, right, let me show you what happens. You can then move them around, but then they'll be all over the place. I don't want them on the wings. You can even put them in the middle of his head. Like they're literally connected to his head. So, which is dope though, because wherever his head moves, the Gatling guns will move. You know what I'm saying? So it's like target acquired. Truthfully, it's kind of dope. But we're not doing that. So we're gonna keep it on the backpack. So now you have to adjust, and once we get that out the way, then we can get the camera set up. Now you want to get it in a spot where you can see. So now you want to start moving the 3D space. You want to start changing the positions around, and because I'm a certified 3D developer, 3ds Max, ZBrush, Cinema 4D, I know how to operate in 3D space. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of move them together until they kind of look like they're locked, but not. I don't want the poles. I don't want the stands to touch. I just want them to look like it's one center bar. All right, so now we want to bring them up in the y-axis, right? And that'll move them up and down. If you do up and down, that goes 10 units, right? Or 10 degrees. And then, so now we're gonna move them back in Z space, in the Z axis, which in 3D is forward and back, right? So I kind of wanted to look like it's sitting on the, like locked onto the jetpack, which is pretty much where we got them. Look pretty cool. And then like I'm gonna bring that up just a little bit because I wanted to look like it. Yeah, that's perfect the way I got it. All right. So now we got them in there. They're not interfering with the wings at all, but they are just, in my opinion, a tad bit too big. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna bring the scale down. Now you can bring them down to where they're extremely small, so it doesn't look like it's taking up a whole lot of space. So we'll bring it down to like 250. That looks straight. Now it looks like it's one single, right? So let's see if we can change the X position, which will separate them, because I want them to look locked, but I don't want it to look like one singular set of gun rack stands. So now we got that set, right? We can exit that. Now we have to set the OP skill, which is the Mercury Gatling gun, right? So the cool thing about this is when we do this, it only takes up one slot, even though it's two weapons. So that's why I recommend, if you're gonna do stuff like this, put both of them. So that way you still have a whole nother OP slot. And right now I have 6 different OP weapons, which means that I have 6 different extra moves I can perform on his overpowered skill. So you gotta go to the Mercury Gatling gun, select that, and then select both of them. They both go in one slot, right? So now we got that set. So now what we can do is, before we colorize them, we can go ahead and go and test them and make sure that they work. So let's do that. Boom. So we're gonna go in and test them now. Make sure that they work. Alright, so now we see we got our subject. He's just standing there. He's gonna get swooped up. And you see the Gatling guns at the top. So before we colorize them and match the rest of our blue, black, orangish red and gold. So now we gotta switch our OP slots, because you got 2 different sets. You go left and right. So that's our first set. We got the boomerang, we got the grapple, the panzer icing, which it pulls you forward. Now if the Gundam is too big, then it will pull me to it, right? And I did all of this, all these little details that you see with the glowing light, or the lights, the LEDs and all that. That is an individual asset. I had to do all of that. That's not default. That is individually done. Even from the green on the wings, all this stuff that you see, I added that shit individually. All of this shit. All of those different individual assets to make it look more lit as a big gunpla robot. So now let's get him in place. We're gonna lock in. This is the other gun. You can't really see him, but you see him hanging under the arm and then under the chest. It's the first set I created. So when I shoot these, they come out of the side, out of the front shoulders. And you see him, watch. See how they lift up and then see the animation? See that? That shit is hard as fuck. And then I got the missile launchers in the legs. Okay, so now let's switch to the second OP tier. And now let's do the Gatling gun on the top. See that? And I got my katana, and I got my dual lightsaber. But then we got this one. All of that shit, gunning them down. So now we got the Gatling set. So now we can exit test mode and let's colorize. I might put 2 more. I was gonna put some more missile launchers on but I don't. So now we can apply the changes. Now I have to go in. And these colors that I created, these are colors that I created. These are actually colors that I created. So we're gonna go in. I'm gonna go into my custom black, which goes with a red outline. Right, and then we're gonna go black. Then we're gonna change the red. I got 3 different like textures that I created with that. Right, so we'll go with the second one. The ones at the top are already preset. These are mine, and I keep the same coloration because all of my Gunplas or my Gundams are created with the same. So we're going to use gold for, because I'm pretty much going to match the other gun. Those are also outlined in red. I probably should have used white, but the reddish, orangish color that I'm using, it looks way better, I think, in that aspect. And then we got the blue to top it off. I think I'm about to edit that blue color. It is metallic. Let's take the roughness out. Yeah. Alright, so now we got the blue, and we're gonna have to change the body too. And that's it. Those are the 4 colors. You can't change the rail, so we're gonna leave those. So now we have to go out, and now let's change the decal. And let's go with, and this is what it looks like once you crank that up. I don't like the pink. Turn the roughness off. I don't like the pink. I don't know why it's defaulted to that, but we're gonna go to my default green to give it that glowing LED on the gun. Right? That's how that looks. Once you get that done, then you can exit out. And then we'll go to the other gun. And then do the same thing. So it's black, then we got the second red texture, then it's gold, and then it's blue, our blue texture, and booyah, we got that done. Now we just got to change the decal again, increase the emission power, which increases the glow, turn down the roughness all the way because there's no reason to have that. And boom. Now what I want to change is that center body piece, because it's not metallic enough for me the way they got it set. So I'm gonna go in, because it's the original old blue. There's the blue right there. Now you see the metallic change. See how now it's nice and shiny. That's how I want it to look. I'm not even worried about keeping the other blue. I have to change all of these real quick, because by default that's how they were, only in the colors where it needs to be changed. So we're gonna change it in the
power on.
We gotta change it in the legs.
Power on.
It does not update
Bluetooth
the color.
connected.
If you change
Bluetooth connected.
if you change the texture of a specific color, it does not update on its own. So you have to change it. So I gotta go into both all the textures of the legs, everything, update that, which is fine with me. The guns, I really don't care about as far as the textures are concerned. Just the suit itself, like the jetpack, backpack, all that shit. Oh yeah, see, I should have changed that too. So now we have an updated. Now you can see the difference in the metallic blue, and I'm glad they did this, or I'm glad I did this, because I forgot to change this actual color on the jetpack. And I think since everything else is a lot of gold, a lot of blue, I think I'm gonna put that textured red on there, and we are golden. We got all of our decals on. So now that thing is sparkling. You see the reflection from the bottom wing to the top in the 3D. Oh yeah, that's dope. Now we ready to rock. We can apply changes. Now we ready to rock in that regard. And that is how you make a custom edit when it comes to your Gundam. Now in the next one, I'm probably going to add another set of guns to it, and I'll catch y'all on the next tutorial. Y'all know who it is, man. It's your boy Drip. Hey. Hey.